This person that reached out to me is an active duty Marine, and they fear speaking out because they are in fear of retaliation and what that might mean for them and their family. So they've asked me to anonymously relay this message. I am fucking ashamed. Ashamed to wear the same uniform, to share the same title, to even breathe the same air as some of these institutionalized cowards who sit around laughing at protesters being shot from rooftops like it's some goddamn video game. They call it riots to justify their hard-ons for violence, but it's protest. Civilians demanding rights, and these cowards are foaming at the mouth, hoping for chaos so that they can play soldier in the streets of LA. They want the public to fight back so they can pretend they're heroes while terrorizing their own people. And when I bring up the textbook definition, when I prove that with doctrine that January 6th was an actual insurrection, they go quiet. Because truth doesn't matter to them, just their blood-soaked fantasies. These aren't warriors. They're federal-sponsored thugs getting off to the idea of suppressing Americans. The same thing happened when I spoke out about Gaza. I stood against genocide, and they treated me like I was the enemy. I was left out, silenced, pushed aside. And now I'm scared to speak again. Not because I don't have the guts, but because the people around me have no soul left to hear it. These institutionalized individuals don't give a damn about honor, courage, or commitment. They want fear, they want power, they want to turn guns on the people they swore to protect. And I am ashamed. Ashamed beyond words to be counted among them. Not because of the institution itself, but because it's rotting from the inside, filled with men and women who celebrate death, mock the oppressed, and cheer for martial law like rabid dogs. This isn't pride, this is perversion. And if this is what being part of the institution means to them, then I want no part in it. The racism rooted in all of this is undeniable. It's the rotten fruit. It's the serpent in the garden of Adam and Eve, pulsing the heart of the entire mindset. It's in every meme, every smug comment, every joke about protesters being gunned down or put in their place. It's the same old American sickness wrapped in camo and called patriotism. And I won't lie, I carry this shame forever being a part of it, forever agreeing, even silently, with that hate. Growth is real, sure, but so is the stain it leaves behind. The stain it leaves is larger than the growth because it never leaves. It haunts your past, present, and future. It stays even when you want it to go. I remember being in those rooms, hearing the slurs, the jokes about the neighborhoods, the way they talk about thugs and illegals and animals. Even when those jokes turned on to me, calling my family wetbacks, calling me a wetback, calling my mom illegal, me illegal, everything. I heard it all, and I fucking laughed. I belonged to that once. And I remember saying, but I'm not racist. I'm not feeding into this, as it would soothe my conscience and make me feel better for the ignorance. No, the stupidity. Because deep down, I knew I was wrong. But I did it just to fit in, to not rock the boat. The sad truth about that is, the more you try not to rock the boat, the more you believe in the lies, the easier it is to indoctrinate you, the easier it is to brainwash you, the easier it is to manipulate you. And that's the shame I carry now. They're mocking American citizens, people just trying to live, to go to doctor appointments, protest injustice, feed their families, as if their lives are expendable, like their deaths are the punchlines. That level of dehumanization is beyond sick. Witnessing that level of dehumanization is a terrifying, uncanny valley in and of itself, like staring at something that looks human but isn't. It's familiar and foreign at the same time, and it makes your stomach turn because you recognize it, and worse, you recognize that you once moved like it, thought like it, laughed like it. And even though I've pulled myself out of that racist, misogynistic pit, the stench is still there. It lingers like a carcass that will never go away. The racism lives on in them, thrives in the ranks, passed down like a twisted inheritance, cloaked like pride, and honor a torch, if you will. I absolutely hate that I ever helped carry it. I'm ashamed to my very core, ashamed that just 5 years ago I was one of them. Ashamed that I bought into the lies, the brainwashing, the toxic pride that turns young individuals into bloodthirsty, institutionalized nationalists. I used to agree with them, and that shame eats me alive. I used to laugh at the same sick jokes, repeat the same slogans, parrot the same blind loyalty BS without even questioning who it served or who it hurt. I was indoctrinated, pumped full of false pride, and fed a steady diet of fear, supremacy, and obedience to authority, masked as honor. And now I look around and see those same people reveling in the idea of civilians being shot, praising the military being sent into American streets, begging for bloodshed, and I realize I used to be exactly that. That's the part that haunts me. That's the part that makes me want to vomit. I was one of them. And no amount of growth can erase that. I once let that poison live in me. I once let it guide me, and I hate that I ever let the institution warp my sense of right and wrong. I hate that I ever felt proud of standing shoulder to shoulder with the people who laugh at suffering and call it justice. This isn't just shame, it's rage at myself for ever believing that silence was strength, that obedience was honor, and that violence was justified. I'll carry that shame forever, not because I changed, but because I know just how deep in it I was. One thing I do want to point out is that the GI Rights Hotline has been absolutely overloaded with calls coming in from active duty service members who have been saying they believe they're being ordered to violate citizens' rights. And so, if you're feeling similar, just know you're not alone, and that the people stand with you.